To 14. Shaky start for both quarterbacks, for both Tony Eason and Marc Wilson, with the interception by Lippett leading to the Franklin field goal, and then that interception by Hayes, which he was able to run in.
Well, exactly. Both quarterbacks started off slow. They picked up a little bit, but I think the defenses have really dominated the first half. Although we have a lot of scoring, the special teams have been involved, and also the defenses have been involved in scoring the points.
Checking the quarterback stats in the first half, Eason 6 for 12, 128 yards. Wilson 8 for 17, 107 yards. Tony Eason, though, had a couple of good streaks.
Well, he had that one drive where he threw a lot on first down, moved the ball down. They didn't get it in the end zone, but they're both playing better. Eason's playing better than he has, and of course Wilson, I think, coming in, he was a little nervous, a little jumpy. Of course, the interception showed that. I think he's settled down a little bit, but you're not going to get much rushing yard on either one of these defenses. You're going to have to throw the football.
All right, Bob, as a regular feature of our telecast, we spotlight the Bob Greasy keys at the start of the game. What about the keys that you touched upon earlier?
Well, I think Marc Wilson has played well, but I don't think he's played well enough for the Raiders to win. I think, like I said, they have to get more into the passing game, not much running, because the Patriots are tough to run against. The New England offense has not allowed a sack, but by the same token, they really not controlled the line of scrimmage. So the game obviously is up for grabs, and those keys still hold.
All right, the Raiders' offensive touchdown was a hookup between this guy, Marc Wilson, and the speedster, Dokie Williams.
And what happened was that number 85, Dokie Williams, went down and broke to the outside. Now, 42, Lippett, intercepted that pass early on. And then what happened was later on, 85 went down and out, and then went straight down the field. And he was beaten, Lippett was beaten, number 42 was beaten on the play. And here we'll take a look at it. Dokie Williams will go down, out, and then up. And the pass is going to be completed for the touchdown. But good protection for Marc Wilson. Telestrator is obviously not working. We're going to try and draw that play up for you. But here's the other key play in the ball game. The snap that goes through Ray Guy's hands. He picks it up, tries to pick it up, and Andre Tippett scoops it up and runs it in for the touchdown for the score for the Patriots.
And that's the score that has given New England a 20-14 lead as we head to the second half. Not much in terms of rushing by either the Raiders or the Patriots.
I think the key thing are the turnovers. The turnovers have played a big role. The Raiders running one back for the touchdown, the only one that the Patriots have committed, and the Patriots having taking 2 turnovers from the Raiders and turning them into 10 points.
Allen, 8 rushes, 32 yards. Collins has handled it 10 times for only 30 yards. Here's Stephen Starring on the return.
Stephen Starring returns the kick.
Starring out to the 25-yard line. Trey Junkin, Stacy Turan combined on the stop. And Tony Eason leads the offensive unit onto the field. Eason in his 3rd season out of Illinois, a first-round draft pick back in 1983. And he will start first down from his 24-yard line. And they come out of the eye. Osi Tatupu now in the backfield with Tony Collins. Here's Collins, led by Tatupu. Mike Davis able to trip him up. That New England offensive line, Brian Holloway and Steve Moore at the tackles. John Hanna, Ron Wooten at the guards. Pete Brock is at center. Steve Moore emerging as the starter when Darrell Haley was sidelined with. And so Moore, a 3-year pro out of Tennessee State, has played well. Second down and 8 off the 2-yard pickup. Eason throwing. Intended for Irving Pryor. Covered by Lester Hayes. It'll be a 3rd down and 8. And there's head coach Tom Flores out of Fresno, California, in his 7th year as the Raider head coach. Tom Flores owning 4 Super Bowl rings, including one as a player, And another as an assistant coach, 2 as a head coach. And a penalty flag is down. The pass intended for Cedric Jones. Lester Hayes covering, and it will be interference on Hayes.
Pass interference, number 37 defense, 1st and 10.
That'll cost 22 yards.
See, Rod Martin coming in 53 is picked up by the back, which is a good protection. Eason throws it off balance. Now watch here, Cedric Jones sees the ball, making a play to come back, and the problem is Lester Hayes did not see it, reached his arm out and interfered with the opportunity to catch the football.
First down midfield, Craig James dancing, but 77 Lyle Alzado able to join him as a partner. And again, flare-up. We had a brief scuffle late in the first half. Alzado trying to fire up the Raiders.
I think something was said. Maybe James may have said something to me like, I'm down, don't hit me so hard or whatever. Maybe a little bit more forceful than that. But Alzado can get that defense fired up. He is the longtime senior citizen of that defensive line. Has said that this will probably be his last year, and he knows how to psych that defense up and fire them up.
Second down and 12. Paul Fairchild now at left guard, replacing John Hanna. Fairchild, a second-year man from Kansas. Tony Collins on the reception, but the strong safety, Mike Davis, right there.
The Raider defensive line now, Marv, getting some pressure on Eason. He's not taking the sack, but he's having to deliver the ball a little bit before he would like to.
Well, not much doing in the Giant-Philadelphia game. Finally a score. Paul McFadden, a 41-yard field goal for the Eagles. Eagles trying to avenge an earlier season loss to the Giants. Third down and 8 at midfield. Eason taking a long look. Again, a flag down. Intended for Derek Ramsey. Covered by Stacy Curran. And looks to be a hold. Here's referee Gordon McConnor.
Holding, number 66, offense, penalty decline, 4th down.
And that is Paul Fairchild, who came on for John Hanna, who's had an assortment of injuries.
Here's Fairchild right here playing in the place of John Hanna, who we were told may be out of the game a little bit, blocking on Howie Long. Long gets by him with an arm under, and he just grabs a hold of him. But better that than lose your quarterback.
And here is Rich Camarillo. And Fulton Walker let it go. And it's out of bounds at the 2. So Camarillo with a beauty, a 48-yard punt. And there is the managing general partner of the Los Angeles Raiders, Al Davis, who has not enjoyed what he has seen thus far today. Marcus Allen out across the 5-yard line. McGrew and Blackman on the stop. Check that it was Frank Hawkins on the carry. And we're told John Hanna, who missed the last series, replaced by Fairchild, is suffering from dehydration and may be able to get back to it later on. Second down and 7 from the 5. Allen and Hawkins, the running backs. Play action. And Wilson with the bomb. Oh, what a catch. Dookie Williams. Stopped by Raymond Claiborne. And there, for the first time in several weeks, is the big play offense of the LA Raiders.
Coming out of his own end zone as we take a look at Raymond Berry, a play action fake. Holds the linebackers and the pass rush. Good protection. He's able to step up in the pocket, see very well. Now it's just a jump ball. He's covered. There's good coverage by Claiborne. Now it's a jump ball. Dokie Williams has inside. Claiborne goes up for it, but the receiver comes down with the football.
And Dokie Williams is the Raiders' deep threat, particularly with Cliff Branch at the end of a superb career on Branch's sideline. 55-yard pass play, his second catch of the day. That's Henry Lawrence, the right tackle, heading off. Lawrence limping off. And Kevin Belcher, a rookie from Wisconsin, a 7th-round draft pick, replacing Lawrence at right tackle. So Jordan, the former Patriot, and Belcher at the tackles, Davis and Marvin at the guards, and Don Mosbar in at center.
Would be surprised, Marv, to see him go again deep on an early down.
First down at the Patriot 40-yard line. And Allen looking to throw. They go to the halfback option, which has been executed very well by Allen. Intended for Jesse Hester. But a flag is down.
There is no flag on the play. The contact by the defensive back was legal.
Here you take another look at it. The Raiders always pressing the issue. Offense, they want to put pressure on you. They just got to the 40-yard line. The first play they do is a play-action pass, a little flip back to the man was open. He threw the ball back over his shoulder, so he had to come back and allow Claiborne 26 to break it up. But they had it, didn't hit it.
And the flag was waved off. So Gordon McCarter says no flag, 2nd and 10. Wilson stepping up, throwing a beautiful pass, but it died. It looked like it was headed toward Jim Smith and then fell short, and Fred Marion actually had a shot at it.
Ball was just underthrown. He was Smith was behind. As we take a look at the pass rush of Tippett, 56 on the rookie Belcher. 76 quarterback steps up in the pocket. Tippett doesn't get his man, but Smith was open on that play. Wilson just didn't get the ball out to him.
So the Raiders now, with a gambling series, they go for the bomb, succeed. Marcus Allen looks to throw, so he's now 1 for 2 throwing the football this season. And Wilson had nowhere to go, being chased by Ben Thomas and Larry McGrew. Thomas, the rookie from Auburn, number 99.
Looks like he's shaken up, Mark.
And Wilson hobbling toward the sideline. There is the backup quarterback, Rusty Hilger, a rookie from Oklahoma State.
It's 4th down, so they'll go for the field goal, but scrambling around with good protection. Thomas chases him. Let's see if we can see right there. It looks like he hurt his left or his right. He did it before he fell down, obviously. That's one of the things about artificial turf fields, Marv. The traction on the rubber-soled shoe is so good with the artificial turf that you can hurt yourself without any contact.
And Ray Guy will punt for the 6th time today. He's out at midfield and looking to angle. Not able to do it. They'll bring it out to the 20, a 34-yard kick by Guy, and a timeout called with 4 minutes gone by in this 3rd quarter. The Raiders medical staff working on quarterback Marc Wilson as the Patriots take over from their 20-yard line.
This could be his ankle, Mark.
Patriots lead the Raiders 20-14. We're early 3rd quarter. Robert Weathers getting a second life. Reggie McKenzie, the rookie from Tennessee, combining with Matt Millen.
There's the battle in the trenches. 75 is Howie Long, playing over Steve Moore, the third-year player. Just kind of scoots around. Moore, guard picks up the guard, knocks him off, but Moore didn't get his block, but Howie Long busted up the play.
2nd down and 7. Patriots not able to do it on the ground. And Weathers again on a slant. Robert Weathers in his 4th season out of Arizona State. And Marc Wilson, we're told, with an injured right ankle, and his return up in the air. It's a 3rd down and 4 for New England. And Eason throwing the middle and batted down, intended for Fryer. Mike Davis got a piece of it.
He had his man open. He just overthrew the ball. Mike Davis is right here. Pattern is going to come down and right in front of him. Eason not throwing the ball well on this play. As you see, come off the line of scrimmage, is open right there. He threw it more to the inside, expecting Fryer to move in, and Fryer just hooked around right where he was.
And following that early scoring flurry, particularly in the 1st quarter and early 2nd quarter, things have certainly calmed down. Camarillo getting it away. This is Fulton Walker on the return to the Raider 45-yard line. 6 minutes have gone by. In this 3rd quarter, 42-yard punt, 12-yard return. We'll be right back. With Marc Wilson sidelined by an ankle injury, we will now see the National Football League debut for the rookie out of Oklahoma State, Rusty Hilger. What is going through his mind?
Well,
right
he's
now?
nervous. There's no doubt about that. They have a lot of confidence in this young man. They think he may be a quarterback of the future for him. But I think he's better off coming off the bench in the middle of a game than he is practicing all week and having to think about it. So if he's going to play well, this would be the time to do it.
And he hands off to Marcus Allen. The good news for Rusty is that Henry Lawrence is back in at right tackle. He left a moment ago. Rusty Hilger, Raiders' 6th round draft pick. He can throw long and can run. Had an impressive preseason. The all-time passing leader for the Cowboys of Oklahoma State, setting a host of records. 2nd down and 3 at the New England 47. Williams in motion, and again to the ground, and a 1st down picked up by Allen. Larry McGrew on the cover-up.
The Raiders normally call the plays for don't normally call the plays. They usually let their quarterbacks call them, but they're sending him in for Hilger at this point and sticking to the ground game just to get him a little bit of, as we see the scores go by on the bottom of your screen, just to get him a little confidence, get him in the flow of the ball game.
And now the Giants have tied up the Eagles in the 3rd quarter. St. Louis in front of Green Bay. Marcus Allen, 10 carries, 44 yards, so it's been quiet thus far. And again to Allen. Flag thrown. Allen attempting to change direction. Stopped by Julius Adams. Incidentally, this is the final year for Julius Adams. He says number 85 will retire after 85 at the age of 37.
Unless he changes his jersey number.
To 86.
Get to fight Stanley Morgan for that one.
All right, Detroit over Tampa Bay in the 3rd. And Minnesota leads Buffalo in the 3rd quarter. Here's Gordon McCarter.
Left side of the defensive line. Penalty accepted. 1st down and 5.
1st down and 5 for the Raiders at the New England 37.
This is the area of the field where the Raiders like to put the ball up deep. The defense don't think you're going to throw deep because you're on their 35, 36, 37-yard line, but the Raiders have already gone deep twice from this area today.
Fumble the snap and able to hang on. Right here, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
You're watching WXFL Channel 8, Tampa, St. Petersburg.
Marv Albert, Bob Greasy from Foxborough. Beautiful day here in the New England area. The Patriots leading the Raiders 20-14. Rusty Hilger has taken over from Marc Wilson at quarterback for the LA Raiders. Wilson replacing the injured Jim Plunkett, dislocating his shoulder last week in the loss to the 49ers. Here's Hilger throwing for the first time. He had Jim Smith wide open and threw a fastball that was high and wide.
That's exactly right, Marv. He had him so wide open, I'm sure Hilger couldn't believe it. He makes a rookie mistake. He had him so wide open, he tried to drill it in there. He didn't have to do this. You see McGrew blitzing up the middle. All he had to do was put a little bit more air under the ball. It's too flat a throw, wide open. There's not a Patriot around him. If he would have just given him, as we see Wilson going to the locker room, if he would have just given the ball a little bit more air, more time to catch the football.
It's a 3rd down and 5 at the Patriots 37. Allen peels off. Incomplete. Ronnie Libet covering on the play. So Hilger with the opportunity. He had Smith wide open just as, ironically, Marc Wilson was leaving the field heading to the clubhouse. You know, there has been talk that the Raiders are looking for yet another quarterback. Larry King had it on the NFL 85 show that Richard Todd of the New Orleans Saints is a man the Raiders are interested in. That has been talked about earlier this season. And another name that has cropped up, Doug Williams, now in the USFL. Here's Guy. Again, a directional punt. And let's see. We'll have to wait and see where they mark it. Just inside the 10. So a good one by Guy. We'll be right back. And there's the rookie wide receiver, Jesse Hester, who has similar muscular structure to that of our producer, David Neal. Being taped up. The Patriots will start out from the 9. Ray Guy with a 28-yard punt, and his punting statistics will not look pretty, but he's been able to angle out several within the 20-yard line. So forget about statistics when it comes to the punting of Guy. Nice move by James. Run out by McElroy. James turning it up. Craig James just short of a first down on that last run. It's 2nd and less than a yard at the 19. Collins has the first down. Mike Davis, the strong safety, making the stop. Stacy Turan replacing Lester Hayes at the left cornerback position for the Surge.
Turan's a fine prospect. 6th round draft choice last year. Got a lot of playing time in the nickel situations. He's a good hitter. They're very high on him.
New England first down at the 20. All the scoring of the first half. Nothing at all thus far. 3rd quarter with 6:20 remaining. Here's James. Could not turn it. And run out by Turan, and some extra activity out of bounds. Personal foul against the Raiders. Now Lester Hayes returns.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 30 on the defense, 15 yards, 1st and 10.
Take a look at the end of the play. Turan hits him inbounds. I don't know about that, Marv. That looks just like a foul. He didn't unnecessarily. I've seen a lot worse things go on out of bounds than that.
But it is a personal foul. First down at the 39. And Eason with time. And let's see what they call it. It was Van Pelt who thought he had it, but no, it is ruled incomplete. Intended for Derek Ramsey. Brad Van Pelt looking for the interception. Brad Van Pelt in his 13th season out of Michigan State. Joined the Raiders last year, 6 weeks into the season following 11 years with the Giants. Dallas and Houston now tied in the 3rd quarter. Zendejas with a 33-yard field goal to tie it. 2nd and 10 from the 39. That's Fryer in motion. The dump pass. Derek Ramsey in a battle with Mike Davis.
Ramsey will be coming from the right side of your screen. Pretty good protection. Townsend breaks through. Ramsey, the leading receiver on the Patriot team last year when they played with 2 tight ends, was a former Raider, a quarterback in college, and he said he's going to have mixed emotions about playing against his old teammates out here today.
Says he still has a lot of close friends on the Raiders. Eason is now 8 for 18, 141 yards. 3rd down and 2, and he bullets one. Could not be held by Fryer.
Fryer saw Van McElroy coming from his free safety position, reading the slant by Fryer all the way, and Fryer has had some injury problems in the past, but he certainly knew that the free safety was coming.
And here's Camarillo for the 6th time today. Patriot coach Raymond Berry has had his receivers needing putty to strengthen their fingers when they see some more putty.
Raymond used to do that when he was playing, and he said strengthen your hands, not only your receivers but defensive backs.
And Walker comes up for it. Fulton Walker to the 30. And I see Marc Wilson has made his return to the Raider bench. 30-yard punt, 9-yard return. So Wilson to the locker room, and now back on. Rusty Hilger ran the last series. And Hilger out there right now. The Raiders taking over at their 30-yard line with 5:12 remaining.
You can see how Eason is looking into that sun. When you're going from the left to the right as you're sitting watching this ball game, you're looking directly into the sun, and it does have an effect on the quarterbacks and all the players that are looking down the field.
That was your major complaint about playing here at
That was
Foxborough.
one of them, yes.
A quick opener for Marcus Allen. And he's just short of the first down. The free safety, Fred Marion, on the stop. And we're just under 5 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. The Raiders come in with a record of 1-2. They opened by walloping the Jets 31-0, coming up with 10 sacks of the Jet quarterbacking duo of Ken O'Brien and Pat Ryan. Lost in Kansas City last week, lost at home to San Francisco, while the Patriots at 2-1, 2nd and 1. And Allen has the first down. Andre Tippett making the stop.
Raiders going to the running game. Henry Lawrence against 77, Ken Sims. Lawrence in a pushing match. Sims loses his balance and is just piled on top of at the bottom of the pile, but Raiders going to the running game with Hilger in the lineup.
And a first down from their 44. And again, Hilger to the ground. Allen out to the 48. Setting up a 2nd and 6. Again, it is Tippett making the stop.
Keep going, oh!
And there is Steve Grogan, a man who has not played in some time.
It's been a year today, Marv. Took over. Grogan went down on the 4th week of the season, and Eason's been in ever since.
Grogan, a man who once started 76 consecutive games. Hilger throwing the middle, and a pretty catch by Allen. Flag thrown, though. You may have heard the disagreement picked up by our sideline microphone. It's against the Raiders, so they will bring it back.
The Raiders are going with some safe passes. We get the call.
Holding, number 27, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
Some shorter passes. Here's Marcus Allen. Christensen will go across to clear, and Marcus will come and try to get the ball in here, right? Not deep passes, not long passes, just some short stuff to get the confidence of the young rookie, and then let him go from there. Good throw. Some traffic. Marcus was saying, don't hit me in the stomach. I'm going to pull my knees up. He didn't have to jump for that ball.
2nd down, 15. Raiders hit with a penalty for the 5th time. Patriots assessed 4 times. And And Hilger putting one deep left side for Hester. Setting up a third down play. Fred Marion, the free safety, covering the rookie Hester. Mets leading the Pirates 4-3 as we check out the baseball races. And the Cardinals over the Expos in the 6th inning. Going in, Mets 4 back, the magic number 4. Yankees in the first of 2, leading the Orioles at the stadium. Toronto 6 games in front of the Yanks. Magic number in the American League East is at 4. Third down and 15. Just under 3 left, third quarter. Allen found the opening. Marion making the stop. Allen not able to pick up the first down. And the punting unit will come on for the Raiders. All the scoring in the first half. Nothing at all in this third quarter. The Lippett interception leading to a Franklin 47-yard field goal. Lester Hayes with an interception and a 26-yard return. Raiders led 7-3. It was Eason to Fryer on a 40-yarder. And New England took a 10-7 lead. Wilson to Dokie Williams, 38-yard touchdown pass. Raiders with a 14-10 lead after one. Early second, Franklin hit from 20. And then the snap not handled by the punter Guy. Tippett picked it up and ran it in. And that's where we stand. Fair catch called for by Irving Fryer at the 11. A 42-yard punt. And the Patriots will go to the offense from their 11. Chicago handily over the Washington Redskins in the third quarter after the Skins got off to the early lead. Kansas City doing it to Seattle. Dallas and Houston tied at 10. The Giants now lead the Eagles. Phil Simms, the tight end Marc Favaro to put the Giants on top. St. Louis over Green Bay, 26-7 in the third. Detroit now leads Tampa Bay in the fourth. Eddie Murray has kicked his third field goal. Minnesota leads Buffalo. Getting behind the Patriots with 2 minutes left in this third quarter. Craig James, look out. Loose ball. And the Raiders have scored. Look to be Lyle Alzado. It has been a game of critical turnovers. Lyle Alzado able to cover it up for the 6th.
Neither offense doing anything. The defense and the special teams say, we'll take over. Alzado, you knew he was going to fall on that ball. There was no way he could try and pick it up. The only thing Lyle could do was fall and just wrap his big body around it for the touchdown. But big play by the Raider defense. They lose their quarterback. The Raider defense comes back again to rescue the offense.
36-year-old Lyle Alzado has tied the game. Here's Barr. And the Raiders now lead by 1. 21-20. Let's check out that play again. The ball carrier, number 32, Craig James.
Just a straight handoff. He gets the handoff all right. Right there, looks like, was it Rod Martin? Van Pelt, 91, jerks it loose. Good play by Van Pelt. Rod Martin gets it and is stripped of the ball. I tell you what, that's a brawl down there. Somebody picks it up, they're all go. But it was a good play by Van Pelt because he knew that the tackle was going to be made in the line, and he got a great angle to rip the ball loose, and Alzado got into the end zone probably for what will be his last touchdown of his career.
Wait a moment.
Huh? Well, he says he's retiring after this year, so...
It's only game 4.
Huh? Lyle doesn't get around to football very often.
So a 21-20 Raider lead. For Lyle Alzado, his first touchdown as a member of the Los Angeles Raiders. He did account for 2 points coming up with a safety for the Raiders.
He's just down there now saying, oh, shucks, it was nothing. I don't see why the offense can't score. The end zone is close by.
And Rod Martin had a shot at it, as you saw, but he was stripped. Here's Barr, starring the deep man. And starring Case to the 10. 20. And Fulton Walker leading the coverage downfield. So it's been a full day for Fulton in his Raider debut.
I'm sure that he didn't expect to play this much coming in, just being picked up this week, but with the injury to Montgomery, he's getting a full dose of special teams work.
The only points for the Patriots this season in the third quarter came on that Irving Fryer 85-yard punt return against Buffalo last Sunday. Minute and a half remaining, third quarter. Patriots first down from their 22. And Eason is hauled down by Howie Long. That's the first sack of the day for the Raiders for Long, his third of the season.
We said at the top that the key to the offense, key to the New England Patriots was the offensive line controlling the Raiders, and Howie Long and Alzado. They did a pretty good job up to this point, but I think the momentum has switched now where the Raiders are getting after it a little bit better.
Howie Long, who grew up in Charleston, Massachusetts, played high school football in Milford, Mass. Patriots took a long look at him his senior year in college and decided not to draft him. Second down, 16. Almost intercepted by Lester Hayes. The pass intended for Stanley Morgan. And Hayes is hurt. May have landed on his hand. Hayes intercepting one earlier and running it in for a touchdown.
You know, the Raider defense has really been the backbone of this team down through the years. They've had trouble offensively as their quarterbacks would get injured and come back, and Plunkett would get hurt, and Wilson would come in, and vice versa. But the defense has really been the backbone, which always has stuck together and held this team in there. The offense is sputtering today. The defense puts them ahead.
Third and 16. Eason out of the shotgun with protection. Collins. Beautiful move by Collins, doing it on Sam Seal. And picks up the first down, an 18-yard play.
The Patriots have the big guns if they can just get them the football. Collins and James, starring Fryer, Morgan, they've got all kinds of talent. Man-to-man coverage going across. He comes back. Martin left his man for a second, misses the tackle, and now he's going to get upfield and make the first down. Good play by Collins.
First down at the 34-yard line. 56 seconds remaining, third quarter. And Eason unleashing. And again, almost intercepted. It's ruled incomplete, intended for Craig James. It was Van McElroy who nearly picked one off.
Booing is for Eason. He had more time. It looks like McElroy is injured. Looks something on the lower leg, but fans booing Eason. Eason had time to throw, but the rush got him a little bit nervous, a little bit excited, and he rushed it. When he got out of the pocket, he had the time, but underthrew the ball. He had a receiver in the area. Now watch as the Raiders make him move around a little bit. Howie Long, 75. Piquel, 71. He has to step up. Now he has the time, but you don't know what's behind you. So he throws it without setting his feet and didn't get the ball there. McElroy dives for it. Doesn't quite get there.
Van McElroy in his fourth year out of Baylor.
You know, artificial turf, Marv, is not the ideal playing conditions for the LA Raiders. Last 6 years, their winning percentage has been 67% overall of all games. On artificial turf, only 54% in the last 6 years. They've won 13, lost 11 on the artificial grass.
Eason is now 9 for 22. 159 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Patriots not able to do it on the ground, averaging about 2.5 per carry. So their offense sputtering again. Collins is stopped. It'll be a third down play coming up. Rod Martin, Howie Long, all over Tony Collins.
Howie Long beating Brock. Pete Brock was blocking back. The quickness of Howie Long got him around the center and into the backfield to disrupt the timing and allow the tackle to be made.
Is Long the most complete defensive end in the NFL?
I think he plays the run and the pass better than any lineman in the league. You may get some that play the pass a little better or the run, but as far as complete player, he's at the top.
Time running down. 10 seconds left, third quarter. Third down and 10. And again, Eason from the shotgun. Pass deflected and incomplete. And Eason hearing it. Stanley Morgan, the intended receiver. Eason had that one good spurt, but he has had his problems once again this week.
Well, he did it on early downs, first and second downs, before the Raiders got their pass rushers in there and their nickel backs. They're playing tight man-to-man coverage in the secondary, and when you get a lot of pressure to try to throw that ball from the center of the field to an out with a defensive man right on you, it's very, very difficult to complete it.
Rich Camarillo has had an excellent day. Once again, Fulton Walker awaits the punt. And Camarillo booming it. Here's Walker to the 30. Good coverage by the Patriots, led by Johnny Rembert. A 46-yard punt, 11-yard return. That's the end of the third quarter. The score, Raiders 21, Patriots 20. We'll be back after these words from your local station. All right, Bob, is this the Raiders version of the greasy telestrator? Perhaps theirs works.
As I hear it, going this way, tackle comes around this way. Both guys blitzing. We'll get him for sure. Let's try it.
And we're heading to the fourth quarter. Marv Albert, Bob Greasy from Foxborough. As you check out the stats through 3.
Total yardage is about the same. Passing yards, it's a very close game. The turnovers and defense have been the story.
Raiders by 1, 21-20. First down for the Raiders from their 30. That's Doki Williams in motion. Here's Allen. Stopped at the line. The strong safety, Roland James, combining with Andre Tippett.
Good defensive play by Andre Tippett as he strings out Todd Christensen. Christensen, an excellent receiver, but you see he cannot get him hooked. He can't get him hooked. Plays him down the line, does Tippett, and then the defensive flow comes and stops him for no gain.
With the glasses on, looks so mild-mannered. Andre Tippett in his 4th season out of Iowa. Marcus Allen with 72 yards on the ground has outrushed the Patriot team to this point. Hilger stumbling. That was a dangerous pass intended for Allen.
You're right, Marv. It was a very dangerous pass. It started out as a simple pass. The receivers are going to come down and break to the inside. Now, Allen is back here. He's going to come out of the backfield and break to the outside. The problem is Hilger waits too long to throw the football and allows the defensive back to cut it. It should have been thrown right now. He's open, but he waits too long, and now you're talking trouble.
Third down and 10. Raiders not doing it in third down situations. 2 for 11. Rusty Hilger 0 for 3 in this his NFL debut. Taking over for Marc Wilson, who injured an ankle. Hilger throwing deep. Doki Williams, the intended receiver, in a race with Rod McSwain. And the punting unit headed on now for the Raiders.
That's a safe play. As we'll take a look at these scores, Hilger, that play was sent in from the sideline. It's a safe play because you're throwing it deep down the field. You cannot throw into coverage. It's one-on-one, and you maybe get a big play out of it. Hilger having some problems coming on, but I think they're in good situation. I think they feel like if we don't turn it over offensively, we'll let our defense and this man right here play the rest of the football game.
And Ray Guy has had an outstanding day. In fact, both punters have done well. Irving Fryer at a 17. Raiders have done a good job in handcuffing Fryer. Timeout, opening minute. Fourth quarter, and it's the Raiders by 1. Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough. Today's game has been a sellout for 3 weeks. I'm told the November 3rd game against Miami is already SRO. Patriots taking over, and a burst by Collins. Out near the 30-yard line. 30 seconds gone by, fourth quarter, and the Raiders lead the Patriots 21-20. While Alzado covering up a fumble in the end zone, followed by the extra point kicked by Chris Barr, providing the 1-point lead for the Los Angeles Raiders. Collins picked up 3. Second down and 7. And here's James. Stopped short of the first down. Howie Long and Brad Van Pelt combining. It'll be a third down and 2. Correction, Collins had picked up 8 on that first play from scrimmage on this series, so it is a third down and 2 from the 30. Eason in trouble. Mike Davis heading to the quarterback, Tony Eason.
The Raiders were in a blitz. Mike Davis on a safety blitz. Here we'll see it again. Davis coming inside. Grogan moving around. Eason moving around on the play, not able to avoid the. I think that's the first sack, second sack of Eason today. Pretty good protection most of the day by the Pets.
And here's Camarillo back at his 11. Fulton Walker takes to the 30. 40. Running very well.
He overkicked his coverage by about 25 yards.
50-yard punt, 26-yard return. We'll be right back. Take over midfield. Marcus Allen off the left side. Stopped by the inside linebacker, Larry McGrew. Coming up next on NBC Sports, the second half of the doubleheader. And most of you will see Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins battle John Elway and the Denver Broncos. Check your local listings for the game coming up in your area. 2nd and 5, 12 minutes remaining. Fourth quarter. Raiders lead the Patriots 21-20. And Allen again. Steve Nelson on the tackle. This game got off very quickly in terms of scoring in the first half. Not much happening here in the second half, and look at the last 6 possessions for the Raiders.
They're all punts, and they haven't had the ball very many plays in those drives. 6, and the most being 6. The last possession was 4, but the complexion of their offense has changed a little bit with Hilger being in the ball game. It's been more conservative, more running, and some of the long passes down the field, which are safe passes, maybe a big play, but if not, certainly not an interception.
Marcus Allen grinding it out, picked up the first down. 17 carries, 82 yards for Allen. First down at the New England 41. Here's Hawkins. Hawkins to the 38, picked up 3. Ken Sims on the stop. Recapping in the first quarter, the interception by Lippett led to the field goal by Franklin. Then Hayes from 27 yards away on an interception, giving the Raiders the lead. Fryer hooking up with Eason. Patriots by 3. Still first quarter action. It was Dokie Williams on a 38-yard touchdown from Marc Wilson. Then Tippett on the 25-yard fumble recovery, followed by Alzado covering one up. And the Raiders lead it 21-20. We're early fourth quarter. Mix up there. Allen not able to save it. Hawkins and Hilger on a collision.
That's the problem when you're a rookie quarterback in the offense. The plays are being sent in from the sideline. He either calls them incorrectly or he goes the wrong way. And Hilger is having a tough time, but again, it's a tough situation to come in and play a good defense like the Patriots.
It's a 3rd down and 9, and a new look on the offensive line of the Raiders. Dave Dalby playing the last couple of series. Mosbar, who started at center, now replacing Marvin at right guard. Jordan and Lawrence at the tackles. Davis and Mosbar at the guards. And Hilger nearly put one right in the stomach of Marion, who should have had it. Fred Marion, the free safety, not able to hang on. Hilger now 0 for 5.
Take a look at what Hilger is going to do. He's trying to get to the ball at tight end. The tight end's going to come down the inside. Allen's going to clear out for him, and then he's going to come back. That is Christensen. Marion will come from the inside. Watch the tight end. Now watch Marion come right up inside of him, almost pick the football off.
And here is Ray Guy, now from his 45-yard line. Angling to the right. And let's see where they spot it. At about the 7. So Guy has done it again. Right on target. 33-yard punt, but the Patriots again will start out from deep in their own end. Check the reaction here of Ray Guy as he watches the flight of his punt. Yes, marked out at the 7-yard line, so he has hit 6 of 10 inside the 20. The ball spotted at the 7. Collins. Stopped by Piquel. Paul Fairchild is back in at left guard, replacing John Hanna. And there is John Incognito.
You know, look at his big thighs, his legs, how big. That's why he got the name Hog Hanna. It's been a little hot for him today. He hasn't been in training. Had a leg problem earlier on in training camp, and they're working him back into the offense.
2nd down and 7. The ball at the New England 10. Collins with Howie Long right there.
Howie Long from the left side of your screen slants to the inside. Moore, the offensive tackle, thought he was going straight. Howie Long says, I'm going inside. Does little Olay, left arm over into the backfield.
Long was almost there in time to take the handoff.
What makes him so good, Marv, is his strength and his quickness. You don't normally see that combination of defensive linemen.
3rd down, 9. Eason off the roll. Underthrows. And that pass intended for Derek Ramsey. A crowd not pleased with that New England series. And here comes Camarillo. It has been a punt-a-thon for the Patriots, similar to the situation with the Raiders.
We showed you the Raiders earlier. The last 6 times they had the ball were punts. These 6 were all punts except for the one fumble caused the touchdown, which is the difference in this ball game.
So Camarillo will punt for his 9th time. Fulton Walker has had a good day, handling special team duty in his debut with the Raiders. Short punt. Walker to the 40. And a big break for Camarillo. The first bad punt of the day. A 37-yarder. 20-yard return by Walker, and he was tackled by the punter, Camarillo.
This game has turned into a duel of punters, and Ray Guy is winning it at this point because this was a very poor kick. Camarillo over to make the tackle. It's how he was hurt, but if he didn't make the tackle, it was 6 points for Fulton Walker.
As we mentioned earlier, Camarillo injured against the Redskins in a preseason game last year, trying to tackle Mike Nelms. Now Hilger and the Raiders, 1st down at the Patriot 23. Allen looking to go outside, broke a tackle. And out of bounds Wilson's at the 17. Claiborne pushed him out.
I'm sure Tom Flores will feel very fortunate if he can come to Foxborough, where he hasn't won. He's 0-2 in Foxborough. Have both of his starting quarterbacks, first Plunkett and then Wilson, out of the ball game, and send in a rookie, Hilger, and win this football game late in the ball game. He's doing it with a conservative offense that is running the football and a very active defense and his special teams.
Wilson injuring his ankle in the third quarter. 2nd down and 4. They line up in the I. Allen. Change of direction. Hilger leading him. A magnificent move by Marcus Allen, and has the first down.
I'm sure that Ray Guy on the sideline is praying that Hilger doesn't get hurt, because last year, as we take another look at this play, nothing inside. The great back that he is spins out and says, if they're all over to the left, I'm going back to the right. Hilger out in front trying to make a block, but last year, the year before, both quarterbacks were nicked a little bit, and Flores was standing there talking to Ray Guy, and the more he talked to him about going in, the more his eyes got bigger and bigger, and then Wilson came from the tunnel, and Guy said, here he comes, he's coming out, let him go in.
1st and goal from the 9. Frank Hawkins, the ball carrier. Marcus Allen from time to time has complained that he does not handle the ball enough. I don't think there are any complaints today. It's been all Marcus Allen. 20 carries, 93 yards. Giants and Eagles now tied at 10. In the 4th quarter, St. Louis continues to pile it up, leading Green Bay 33-14. Minnesota and Buffalo now tied at 20. 2nd and goal from the 6. Here's Allen. Fred Marion and Larry McGrew on the stop. National Football League rules require that we present away games starting with the opening kickoff to stations in the team's home area. So viewers in Denver, New York, and San Diego will be leaving this game in just a couple of minutes for a telecast involving your home team. However, we will continue to bring you reports on this game to keep you up to date. A 3rd and goal from the 2 as the Raiders call for time. 7:25 left in this 4th quarter. Raiders lead it 21-20. And off that short punt by Camarillo and the good return by Walker, the Raiders are on the doorstep. Coming up next on NBC Sports, the 2nd half of the doubleheader, you will see either Miami playing the Denver Broncos in Denver, Jets in Indianapolis, or the Cleveland Browns and the San Diego Chargers. That'll be the 2nd half of the doubleheader right here on NBC Sports.
Raiders taking that timeout to talk it over, whether they want to go with a running play or a pass play. 3rd down and, well, about 2, I guess it is, for a 1st down. Actually, you know, a running play or a pass play, I don't think that you can really set for one or the other, because I think if a running play, 2 yards, you might make it for a touchdown if they're expecting pass. So I think the Raiders discussing whether they want to run a draw, maybe run Marcus Allen, or whether they want to go on a pass. I kind of think that what they're going to do is give the ball in a handoff. I think they're happy with the way their defense is playing, and I don't think they want to put the pressure on Hilger to throw the ball and perhaps get an interception.
And he is 0 for 5. So that would be the...
It's a pretty tough way to break into the league.
There he is. Rusty Hilger out of Oklahoma State, a 6th round draft. 3rd and goal from the 2. Raiders have not done it in 3rd down situations. And here is Hilger directing traffic. And let's see. Touchdown. Todd Christensen able to catch it back of the end zone, and the Raiders do gamble and succeed with the big play. Hilger's first NFL completion, and it's for a score.
Well, they got him outside the pocket, Marv, where he wouldn't have to take the heat of the rush, and also where he could get outside and see a little bit. No reading to do on that one. He got outside and barely got the ball in there. Kind of short-armed it, but still a touchdown.
Now, the conservative call is not to do it like that, as you were indicating, Bob. But that's a typical Raider play. And Barr with the extra point. So the Raiders now lead it 28-20.
Good fake up the middle, holds the linebacker, McGrew. Then he rolls out, throws the ball into the end zone. Barely, see if he makes the catch. Got his hands, it looks like he did. We couldn't see the actual catch, but it looks like he had his hands underneath it. Todd Christensen taking bows from all of his teammates on the sideline.
His second touchdown of the season, 5 receptions, 41 yards. Todd Christensen giving the Raiders an 8-point lead with 7:18 left in this fourth quarter. And you know, prior to this touchdown, the last offensive score was back early in the second quarter on a 20-yard field goal by Tony Franklin.
New York Giants 10 and Philadelphia 10.
Coming into the ball game, both offenses had been struggling and the defenses had been playing well. I'm sure he's breathing a lot easier, knowing that the team is in good shape offensively as far as points on the board. Now the defense, which has been their strength, can go out and
Wait a moment. Do you believe that?
Sure.
From a team point of view. But perhaps he's worried about his job.
No, I don't think he's worried about his job. Not at all. Hilger hasn't completed that many passes. It's been very conservative. I think that this will certainly go a long way in Hilger's career and development. And I don't think he's got any concern about who's starting next week if he's healthy.
This is Starring. Wallop back at the 10. Excellent coverage, led by the former Boston College standout, Steve Strahan. Mets leading the Pirates 6-4 in the 9th inning, while the Cardinals and the Expos are now tied at 5 in the 9th. Well, the Yankees over the Orioles 4-0. And this is the story coming into today. So the Yanks are now 5.5 back. And in the West, California and Kansas City coming even, both losing the last couple of days. Eason off the roll, almost picked off, but a flag throw. That went through the hands of Stacy Turan.
Holding New England.
Holding, number 61, offense. Penalty declined, second down.
A hold called on the right guard, Ron Wooten. You know, the Patriots have accounted for only 16 yards their last 17 offensive plays.
And that's the man that has to do something right there. The catalyst, the man that gets it going. You can have good weapons around you, but he's the catalyst. It's got to do something to create some activity.
Out of the shotgun. And Morgan able to break a tackle for a 21-yard pickup. McElroy making the stop. And an important play as the Patriots with a first down, moving it upfield.
Take a look as the defensive line crossed. Howie Long runs past him. Now this is what you have, tight man-to-man coverage everywhere. If you break the tackle of the guy that's covering you, there's no one else around. This game has become a series of small, fast, wide receivers and quick defensive backs. That's where the passing game is right now.
Patriots first down from their 30. 6:15 to go, fourth quarter. And Eason throws, and again, Turan should have had the interception. Intended for Fryer.
He forced that ball, Marv. He should have never thrown it. There was nothing else available. He was getting some heat in the pocket, so he went ahead and threw it anyway. Now, you can't do that. You either have to take off running or throw it away.
Crowd is chanting for Steve Grogan. Grogan, as we mentioned earlier, has not played in 16 games since the third game of last year against Seattle when Eason replaced him and then sparked a come from behind victory. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Eason with time. Craig James to the 35-yard line. Rod Martin on the stop. We're told that John Hanna came into today's game suffering from the flu, so he has been shuffled in and out of the lineup with Paul Fairchild coming on. Right now it's Brock at center, Wooten, Fairchild at the guards, Moore and Holloway at the tackles. 3rd down and 4. And Ramsey not able to hang on, but a flag down.
Holding on the offense.
Five and a half left in this 4th quarter. The Raiders now lead the Patriots 28-20.
Holding, number 67, offense. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 37, defense. Penalties offset, repeat the down.
Lester Hayes called for the personal foul, and the right tackle Steve Moore on the hold.
Lester Hayes at the top gets a jam, number 37. The flag had already been thrown. It was for that initial jab up around the head.
It's a 3rd down and 4. And this time it is picked off. Sam Seal, 37-yard touchdown off the interception. Sam Seal, the extra defensive back out of Western State in Colorado. And there's a penalty marker down. That may relate to the celebration of the end zone.
Well, that was a poor throw.
So the touchdown will stand, and Raiders will be penalized
for the celebration.
Right.
But a poor throw by Eason, but it was a poor route. I'll demonstrate it to you after the kick.
So Lester Hayes has run one in, as has Sam Seal, and the Raiders now lead at 34-20. And here is Chris Bond. Wilson putting it down.
Just aggressive defense. Take a look right here. Here's Sam Seal. Now the receiver right here is going to come out and break to the outside. This receiver is going to break to the inside, but they collide. Both of them run into each other, and Seal is the only one that has vision on the ball. Watch him. They cross. Poor pattern right there. They're all mixed up. Eason tries to throw the ball the best he can. Seal sees it all the way, steps in, but there was poor timing in the route to run the pattern. It's when you have an offense like that, it's not all on the quarterback. He threw a bad pass and shouldn't have thrown it, but the routes weren't crisp, and they didn't run it the way they were supposed to.
Second interception thrown by Eason. Both run back for touchdowns. That makes 7 on the season. He was intercepted only 8 times all of last year. He's been ineffective now for 3 straight games. Do you go to the veteran Steve Grogan next week?
Well, there's no doubt that Eason has been erratic. I mean, I think it all started against the Bears. We said earlier, Bears very aggressive, maybe have knocked him around a little bit. They do a lot of blitzing, a lot of different stunts, and he may have lost some confidence. But he's your quarterback of the future. There's no doubt that Eason played very well last year, and he will regain that form this year. But he's in a slump right now, and is he going to come out of it today? Obviously not. I would go and put in Grogan and see what he can do.
11 for 28 for Eason, 184 yards, 1 touchdown, and the 2 interceptions. 5:24 left in this 4th quarter, and the Raiders lead the Patriots by the score of 35-20. Chris Barr in his 10th season out of Penn State with the kickoff. And it's Jones, one of the up men, out across the 35-yard line. Cedric Jones with a 20-yard return. Stopped by Steve Strahan, the product of Boston College. Right here, let's pause for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
You're watching WXFL Channel 8, Tampa, St. Petersburg.
Marv Albert, Bob Greasy from Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough. The Raiders with a 35-20 lead on the Patriots. Tony Eason remaining at the helm as the Patriots go first down from their 36-yard line. Out of the shotgun. Irving Fryer across the 40.
I really feel that Raymond Berry should go ahead and put Grogan in. Eason is the start for this game. He is not playing that well, and the only thing that's going to happen is it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Here's Collins as the first down across midfield. 11-yard pass play. Rod Martin on the tackle. Patriots in the hurry-up offense. We're under 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Now Eason going deeper, deflected, and incomplete. Hayes diving for it. Morgan, the intended receiver.
Like McElroy hurt himself diving for that football. Both he and Hayes diving for it. Jammed a finger or something. It's Davis, 36.
And the Battle of Texas. Danny White has thrown his second touchdown, and he's put the Cowboys up 17-10. Giants and Eagles now in overtime, tied at 10. Tom Flores and his Los Angeles Raiders with a 35-20 lead on the New England Patriots. Raiders looking to even up their record at 2-2. James. So the quick handoff to Craig James, and he rips off 22 yards.
It's a draw play. The Raiders are not worried about draw plays and running plays. They're ahead by more than 2 touchdowns, so they're playing it loose in the secondary. Deep zones, you're going to have some space to run in, but the overall picture is still favorable to play defense the way they're playing it.
53 yards, 12 carries for James. First down at the 26 in Raider territory. Flag thrown. Eason going deep. To break it up. Derwin Williams getting the pop from Mike Davis. And let's see what this flag is all about.
I believe it's offsides on the Raiders, Mark.
The tackle's setting off the line. 99. Setting off the line. 89. Fucking guy belongs in Arizona.
Offside, number 99 defense. 5-yard penalty, first down 5.
That is Sean Jones. Called on the offside. There he is, number 99.
Hey, Jack, don't let him sit in the backfield.
And there's a final. Kansas City defeating Seattle 28-7.
Jack, he's in the backfield.
First and 5. Eason chased by Piquel, throws a bouncer. And that'll be intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding.
Let's see if Cedric Jones plays it on the short hump.
Well, you know, they're calling more of this year than I've ever seen before, and the definition of intentional grounding is if the ball is thrown away with the specific purpose to avert a loss, okay? Now, I think that was a pretty good call because he threw it straight into the ground. Even though there was a receiver in the area, he threw it straight into the ground. He should have threw it a little bit closer. Of course, he probably was thinking that if he threw it any closer, he might get picked off.
Back to the scoreboard. That's a final. The Chicago Bears continue to roll, walloping Washington. St. Louis leading Green Bay in the fourth quarter, 43-21.
Washington 10.
Second and 15. And Eason trying to duck under, mix up. Not a pretty picture for the Patriots.
And not a pretty picture for Eason. I don't think that he needs to be put through this. I think the ball game is out of reach. He is having a bad day. Grogan can come in and maybe spark the team a little bit. I'd still start Eason the next week and the next week because he's your meal ticket. But you can get scarred from things like this.
And Eason again in trouble. And again throws the one-hopper. Dave stalls with the big rush that time.
The thing that's going on here, Marv, is all these people that are here in the stadium, a lot of them are booing him, and he's going to remember these things. The next time when he does come back and he is playing better, if he does complete 9 out of 10, or he's going to say, well, they got to boo. You know, you have long memories in these types of situations, and you got a quarterback on the sideline who is a good quarterback. Grogan can play. He's well rested. You know, I think it's just a judgment call by Raymond Berry, and he wants to stay with him.
Raymond Berry will certainly be hearing the question at the post-game news conference. This is interesting.
I think it's a little bit early in the season to be giving up your hat.
They knew they'd get on camera. 3:37 remaining, fourth quarter. And a timeout has been called. The Raiders lead it 35-20. Next week, the Los Angeles Raiders will be home for Kansas City, looking to avenge the loss of 2 weeks ago. Then it's New Orleans. They travel to Cleveland. That'll be one of their favorite locations. They stopped in Cleveland on the way to New England.
Because of the Hurricane Gloria, they stopped on Friday, spent Friday night at the airport, worked out at the stadium there, and then came on. But just getting a quick view of what it's going to be like in Cleveland in a couple of weeks.
And next Sunday, the Patriots will play the Browns in Cleveland, then back home for Buffalo, the Jets on to Tampa Bay, and home for Miami.
It's a big win for the Raiders, Marv. You know, we said they've lost their last 2. They were on the road. They've never won up here in Foxborough. They lost their quarterback last week. Wilson was starting for the first time. Wilson goes down in the middle of the game, and now they have a rookie in the lineup, and they still come back and win the football game convincingly by 15 points, and it's their defense. It always comes to the rescue of their offense, and if this is a game they really needed to win.
Defense and a solid performance by Marcus and Todd Christensen.
And Fulton Walker did a good job.
And Eason throwing on the run.
See, it's just getting worse for Tony Eason.
Jeff Barnes able to pick it off.
There are times when you have to admit that the game is over and admit a loss. Take your man out of there and let somebody else come in and take the tough ending. The Raiders are sitting back now just enjoying this, and this is a tough situation. I've been through some of these, and I'll tell you, when the coach took me out, I was glad of it. Let the other guy go in and get his brains beat out.
Said with such compassion.
I've been through it.
Jeff Barnes, 9th year out of California, coming up with his first interception of the season, and Eason picked off for the 3rd time today. 3:28 left, 4th quarter. And the Raiders first down from their 17-yard line. Eric Jensen now in the backfield. And the Raiders, obviously a happy ball club, as they will just look to run it down. Hawkins and Jensen are the running backs, so Marcus Allen to the sideline.
Coming into this ball game, the Raiders were in last place in the AFC West. And the Patriots are by no means out of the race. They'll drop to 2-2 and certainly have a good ball club. Their offense isn't playing well now, but that'll get straightened out, and they'll be a force in the AFC East before the year is over.
2nd and 7 out of the I. This is Hawkins. Penalty marker thrown. Hawkins across the 22-yard line. Ken Sims on the stop, along with Andre Tippett. is against New England. Clock down 2.5 remaining now in the fourth quarter.
Illegal use of hands. Number 55 defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Don Blackman, the outside linebacker, hit with the penalty and the automatic first down.
You know, Marv, last night I had a nice conversation with Tom Flores, and we were talking about different things, and he said, you know, quarterback is the toughest position to judge. Going into the draft, drafting out of college, and then also once you have him on your team. You know, we were talking about Marc Wilson and the problems that he's had, and Plunkett, and I think Hilger, you know, he was talking about Hilger also, and he said you can figure other positions a little easier, but quarterback, there's so many things involved. You know, you can see if he has a strong arm and if he's intelligent, but does he have that competitiveness? Does he have the heart for it? And I think you're seeing examples on both sides of the field here judging quarterbacks.
And there's the 2-minute warning. We'll take this timeout back after these words. A deal. We mentioned the names such as Richard Todd and Doug Williams. Perhaps there is some interest there.
Well, I think the work that Hilger has had in this ball game today will help him. He got a lot of playing time in the preseason, but having been in this ball game today under real conditions will help him if he does play next week and start. But I think that the Raiders, if depending on the severity of Wilson's ankle injury, I don't think he'll be able to play next week, but depending on the severity of it, may go outside and look for a quarterback.
All right, Rusty Hilger did come up with the big play, tossing the short touchdown to Todd Christensen for his first NFL completion. He is 1 for 6 overall. 2nd down and 6 at the 33. Raiders just running out the clock. 2 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Here's Hawkins picking his way. Good second effort. And he is stopped. Well, picked up the first down. They mark it. First down for the Raiders. Frank Hawkins in his 5th season out of Nevada Reno. And he has won the starting job, pushing Kenny King to a backup role. King was the starting fullback. Now King backing up Marcus Allen. Down to a minute and a half left. The Raiders will even up their record at 2-2. The Patriots will fall to a record of 2-2. This time it is Jensen, Derek Jensen, a special teams spark plug in his 7th year out of Texas Arlington. Dallas just getting by Houston.
Houston's playing a lot better.
And the Giants over the Eagles in overtime. So the Giants now 3-1. Minnesota over Buffalo 27-20. So a string of close games. We're down to 45 seconds remaining here. 2nd down and 7. Here's Jensen, stopped behind the line. Blackman there for the tackle. And checking out the AFC West, Kansas City with the win today over Seattle. Denver playing later on against Miami, San Diego later on. Seattle with the defeat now 2-2, and the Raiders going on to the victory here with a record of 2-2. Time has run out on the New England Patriots. So the Raiders with a bounce-back victory following the clobbering at the hands of the 49ers last week have turned it to defeat the Patriots by the score of 35-20. We'll be back in just a moment.